Hey, what's up YouTube? I'm Ronix from Ronix Photography and welcome to yet another retouching video on this channel. And today we're going to be dealing with this image. It is a Naturallight image and we're going to start editing it. And this is a photo. It was taken using Naturallight, as you can see, and it was taken using a Canon 6D camera, as you can see, at f4. The ISO was 400. I don't know why I was so high at this time of the day. And the shutter speed 250, and it was taken using an 85mm 1.8 lens, but it was taken at f4. So this is the image we are going to be editing. We are going to be doing frequency separation, color grading, dodging and burning, and the eye whitening of this image. So stay tuned as we go in and start editing this photo. So usually when I'm editing, I start by doing some little adjustments in camera raw, and I can usually come back to camera raw to do what I may have not done right in this photo. So this is a photo we're going to start editing. So usually I prefer pulling down my highlights because they're kind of overexposed in the background. Then I prefer, let me play around with my whites. I will pull the whites up a little bit, come back to my highlights and pull them down, because I want these highlights to be seen. That's why I'm over pulling my whites up. So I'll come to my shadows and I'll pull them up to around 30, 39 can do. Then I'm going to pull my blacks down because I want to add a little bit of contrast to this image. So after, I'm going to come to my contrasts. I'm going to put it at around 7. Then come back to my shadows, I pull them up a little bit. So this is a Naturallight photo, as you can see. So you're going to see how you're going to retouch this image. And yeah, right now I'm going to come to my clarity. I'm going to pull it to around 6. So after this, I'm going to come to my vibrance. I'm going to pump it up to around 6. So as you can see, we have so many greens in this photo. As you can see, I think it's because of the green environment in this image as we are taking the photo, because we took it under a tree, because we had to look for a shade to take this photo. Yeah, so I'm going to play around with this because I want to remove the too many greens in this image. So I'm going to leave it at that at the moment. So I'm going to open the image in Photoshop. And guys, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, kindly hit the subscribe button and don't forget to hit the notifications bell so that you'll be alerted and every time we do upload a new video on this channel. And don't forget to hit a like button and leave a comment, give us feedback so that we'll be motivated every time we are making new videos for you guys. So this is the image, and usually when I'm going to edit my photos, I prefer to first of all crop them in a ratio of 4:5 or 8:10, because usually these photos are posted to Instagram, and yeah, this crop ratio is usually the Instagram default, and we would like our photo to occupy the whole screen. So this is the image right now. I'm going to crop it a little bit more. Click enter on the keyboard. So this is the photo you're going to be editing today. So usually I'm going to start, I start by duplicating the background layer, Ctrl J on the keyboard. So after duplicating it, I'm going to start by removing the pimples and blemishes from this image. So usually I come to my patch tool. So I'm going to zoom in all the way in. So I'm going to be removing this. So I'm going to sample and remove, sample, remove, sample and sample. Yeah, select, then sample where I want. So guys, I don't want you guys to be bored, so I'm going to forward this process of removing these blemishes. So yeah, let me forward. Yo, welcome back guys. So we are done removing the blemishes from this image. So let me show you guys the before and after. After you can see the pimples and the little blemishes are gone. So we shall fix this neck area after frequency separation. So this is the image. So I'm going to come and I start doing my frequency separation. I'm going to just come to my frequency separation action and I'm going to play it. If you don't have it, there are tons of frequency separation actions on YouTube. So I'm going to play the action right now. So it's playing. Usually when I'm editing such images, I prefer to put my radius pretty low because I want to get so much detail in this photo. So you can see I still have the details right here. So I'm going to continue. So I'm going to come to my frequency separation group. I'm going to close this. Click on my high frequency layer and I'm going to create a black and white layer on top of the high frequency layer. You know what this does is it guides us and shows us the little imperfections in the skin tones. So since you're going to be using a mixture brush tool, we are going to kind of blend the skin tones that kind of look uneven and are in the same area. So I hope you guys can understand what I'm meaning. So usually I prefer to pull down my reds because I want every imperfection to be seen, and I'll pull up my yellows a little bit. So I'll come back to my reds. So just come, select your lower frequency, and if you don't have, you just come and select your mixture brush tool because that's what we are going to be using for frequency separation. Select your mixture brush tool in Photoshop, and if you don't have it, just right click, you'll find it here. So make sure your brush is clean. Just drop down, clean your brush, make sure this is not checked and this is crossed. Make sure your wetness is at 10% and all the others are left at their defaults. Make sure sample all layers is not checked. Yeah, so guys, some of you usually have issues using a mixture brush tool. Make sure the settings right here are right. So make sure lower frequency is selected, mixture brush tool is selected. So you're going to start doing our mixing. So select your lower frequency, increase your brush using the left and right brackets on your keyboard. So and make sure when you're mixing, remain within the borders and the boundaries of the area you're trying to mix, because you don't want to change the shape of the model's face. So and make sure when you're mixing, don't mix one area for so long, because yeah, you may end up messing up. So unless you're trying to remove something like this dark patch, you can mix that area so much, because we want to get rid of this dark patch. So this is what we are doing right now. What we are doing, we are trying to blend the skin tones together. We are trying to harmonize the skin tones. Actually, that's the better word to use. And guys, if you haven't subscribed, kindly hit the subscribe button. So we come right here and we continue blending these areas of the model's skin. So remember, this is a Naturallight photo, and yeah, we are trying to do what a photographer would or a retoucher would have done for this image. So as you can see, you may not be seeing the progress so far, but when I come right back here and I turn off my black and white layer and I show you the before after, you can see the magic and the difference it is creating. So you're going to turn back the black and white layer, and we're going to continue mixing the skin. So right now, you know, the mixture brush tool keeps so much detail in your photo. I think ever since I learned how to use the mixture brush tool, I've never gone back to other frequency separation methods like the one I was using before, because usually I I first learned using the lasso tool and Gaussian blur, but it wasn't giving me those nice perfect skin texture, and yeah, I had to look for a better method, and yeah, I learned how to use the mixture brush tool. So we continue mixing. As you can see, I'm over mixing this area. And the other thing I forgot to tell you guys, when you're trying to mix, make sure you don't over zoom in your image, because we want to do the mixing the way someone is going to be looking at the image itself. I don't know if I make sense for that, but yeah, that is what I'm trying to mean anyway. So we come right here, make sure you mix each and every area, and make sure when you're mixing you do take your time. Don't do the mixing in a rush or in a hurry. So just zoom out a little bit and you increase your brush, continue doing the mixing. As you're seeing, I'm mixing each and every area separately. I'm not dragging my brush all the way at once. So yeah, I do the mixing. Yeah, this may be a pretty long tutorial, but I just want you guys to learn something. Yeah, in cases whereby you have Naturallight and you're told to create the best of the photos you have taken, and maybe they wanted like a glamour shoot and you didn't have enough equipment on you and all you had was your camera. So this is the way you can easily go around editing the images taken using Naturallight. The beauty images. So I'm going to zoom in because I want to do the mixing on this particular area. Make sure you don't leave just any stone unturned. So that's why I had to zoom in around this area, because I want to do the mixing right here on the nose area. As you can see, we had a little highlight here, so I'm trying to blend it in. So just come right here between the eyeshadow and continue mixing. As you can see, I'm mixing the highlights alone, the midtones alone, and the shadows alone. So I'm not rushing to do the mixing. So let me show you guys our progress so far. So I'm going to turn this off. So this is the before, after, before, after, before, after. You can see the results right now. So I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to come to my neck area. You can do your frequency separation many times. So I'm going to turn this back on as many times as you wish, as long as you want to perfect results or to perfect the skin tones of the image. So right now, what we usually do, we end up doing frequency separation and we end up forgetting these vital areas like the neck, maybe the arms, if at all the model was posing with the arms close to their face. So make sure you don't miss out on these areas, because we wouldn't want a model to be with a perfect face, but when the neck area isn't blending or looking like the face itself. So I'm going to come back right here and I'm going to do the mixing. So let me show you guys our progress, because it is better to be seeing what we are really working on. So this is our progress right now. So I'm going to come right here and I'm going to delete the black and white layer, because it's kind of useless for now. So I'm going to select these two. So when I right click, I'm going to merge these two layers, the frequency separation layer. So I'm going to duplicate, Ctrl J, And I'm going to come back right here to my frequency separation, and I'm going to play the action yet again, and I'm going to repeat the procedure because yeah, I really want to get something perfect out of this image. Select your high frequency, then we are going to create the black and white yet again, because you can see some imperfections right here and we want to deal with them. So we're going to use the same procedure as we have been doing. Mixture brush default, make sure it is clean. Yeah, clean brush. This is unchecked. Wetness is at 10. Load at 75, mix at 90, and the flow at 100. Sample all layers is not checked, so make sure you're on the lower frequency. Zoom in a little bit, and we are going to start mixing. Increase your brush using the brackets on your keyboard. So I'm going to come and I'm going to continue mixing this area right here. As you can see, the dark patch is kind of getting lost from the forehead of the model. Yeah, so this is the last frequency separation we are doing. So after this we are going to be doing the color grading, and maybe we can do some little dodging and burning. So let me show you guys for the second frequency separation, before after the dark patch is completely lost from the model's face. So we're going to select right here, and we're going to continue doing the mixing. And yeah, right now we are kind of blending the skin tones of this model, so you can see how this is right now. So guys, if you're watching and haven't subscribed, it is a simple reminder, kindly subscribe to this channel and don't forget to hit the thumbs up if at all you already subscribed to this channel. So yeah, you know, we have this little highlight here, and that's why we are kind of mixing it alone, and we don't want to drag it, because we are going to end up distorting the shape of the model's face. So that's why we are mixing each and every little detail alone. So this is the image right now. So we continue. Right now I'm using my laptop to edit, and I'm using my touchpad. So if at all you can hear any clicks, yeah, that's the issue. Yeah, and for my retouching, usually I use my laptop because I find it very, very easy to use and convenient enough. So this is the image right now. So just keep on turning on this on and off because you want to see your progress. So as you can see right here, between the eyebrows we have some uneven skin tones, so we have to make them really, really even enough. So that's the reason that's why you really have to take your time while you're retouching. Yeah, because we really want amazing results and we want to deliver the best of the best. Yeah, so this is the image. This is the image we are working on right now. So let me continue doing this here. So I'm going to come right on the chin area and I'm going to perfect it. So this is the image, and remember this was a Naturallight photo, so I'm going to do something about it right here. So before after. So I think we are done with the frequency separation for this photo. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete the black and white, and I'm going to start color grading this specific image. So Shift Alt Ctrl E on the keyboard to create a duplicate. So I'm going to click Ctrl J on the keyboard. So I'm going to come right here, click on the camera raw filter. So I'm going to start doing the color grading first before I can whiten or brighten the eye. So I'm going to come to my camera calibration, and I'm going to play around with these sliders. So as you can see, I want to add in some reds to this image. Yeah, I'm going to come to my red primary, and I'm going to play around with it. So right now I'm going to come to my saturation. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Yeah, I think this is good so far. So I'm going to come right back to my basic panel, and I'm going to pull up my shadows a little bit, and I'm going to pull down my whites, pump up my exposure, as you can see. So I'm going to come to my adjustment brush, and before I do that, I'm going to pull down my highlights, -6. So usually when I'm going to whiten the eyes of the model, I prefer to use my adjustment brush, and the settings, my temperature is usually at -61, my tint at 69, and my highlights at 7, and my whites at 8. So I just come right down to my saturation, and it is all the way to -85. So I'm going to zoom in the image. As you can see, I'm going to zoom it all the way in, get my hand tool, and I'm going to start whitening the eyes of the model. So select your adjustment brush once again and start painting over the white area of the eye. So I paint over. So let me continue painting over the white area of the eye. So let me paint. So I want to get these little highlights of the eye to be like our main catch lights, because it was a natural light photo. Yeah, and we can do less about enhancing the eye. So select this, my zoom tool, and I'm going to zoom in. As you can see, select my adjustment brush, and I'm going to paint over the white area of the eye. So reduce the brush. Make sure you really be perfect when you're doing this process. So yeah, continue painting over the white area alone. Don't go past the borders or the boundaries of the white area. So this is the image. So I'm going to whiten this area. So this is the image right now. Let me zoom out so you can see. So I'm done whitening the eye area. So I'm going to come back to my basic adjustments, and I'm going to come to my HSL panel, and I'm going to play around with the greens. As you can see, when I think I want to go for a really warm look for this image. So I'm going to pull this down. I'm going to come to my yellows. So you see, when I play around with my yellows, the image gets so many hues. So I think this can do for this photo. So I'm going to come to my greens. I'm going to pull them up a little bit. So far so good. I'm going to click open. So let me show you guys the before color grading and the after before. After you can see the image already looks amazing. So I'm going to come to my selective color, and I'm going to add some cyans to the image, -10, and I'm going to add in a little bit of yellows to this image. So after, I'm going to come to my gradient maps, and I'm going to use gold 1 and gold 2. And if you don't have all this, click on this gear icon, click on photographic toning, and click append. So I'm going to select right here gold 2. So come to my blending options, I'm going to select soft light. So I'm going to come right and I'm going to reduce the opacity of our gradient map. I'm going to use 8 can do for this image. So I'm going to group all our color grading and put it in one specific group. Ctrl G, and I'm going to name this color grading. Sorry about this. You double click and I'm going to name it color. That can do. So right now I'm going to start I'm going to do our dodging and burning, and I'm going to be using our curves. So come to curves, and first of all I'm going to brighten it. Click Ctrl I to invert it. So I'm going to name this dodge. So I'm going to come back to the curves, then I'm going to darken this time. Ctrl I on the keyboard, and I'm going to name this burn. So I'm going to select the two and I'm going to put them in a group. Ctrl G to group them. So I'm going to name this DNB. DNB for dodge and burn. So remember what we used for our frequency separation. We used the black and white. So I'm going to click right here and I'm going to create a black and white layer to guide us while doing the dodging and burning. So I'm going to darken it so much. I'm going to brighten it up. So I'm going to use my brush. So first of all I'm going to come to the dodge layer, select my brush, make sure the opacity is at 100. So my flow is going to be so low. For my dodging I'm going to use 12%. So I'm going to increase on the brush and make sure white is the foreground. So you can toggle by clicking here or clicking X on the keyboard. So white is on foreground, so you're going to paint using a white brush on a black mask. So I'm going to start painting on the highlight. So make sure you don't overdo this. So I'm going to come right here. Everywhere we have a highlight, we are going to be painting there. So remember, we have a highlight right here, a highlight on the lip area, as you can see. Then we have some little highlight here, then a highlight on the chin area. Yeah, this is the image. We have some highlight here. So guys, if you're learning something, don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to drop a comment. So I'm going to come to my burn area and I'm going to first of all burn right here on the hair area, because we want to kind of darken this particular area of the hair. So I'm going to burn here a little bit, come right on the eyeshadow, going to burn. We burn there too. So remember, we forgot to burn to dodge some areas right here. So we have highlights on the ear area, so we're going to dodge them too. So let me show you guys the before and after for our dodging and burning. So I'm going to delete the black and white as usual. So I'll show you before, after. So guys, this is the image right now. So I'm going to group each and everything. So I show you guys the before and after for our image, the overall before after for the image. Ctrl G to group. So let me also group this to Ctrl G. So this is the before, after, after, you can see the transformation of this particular photo. So guys, this has been a video about frequency separation using a mixture brush tool. What we did the eye whitening, then we did the color grading, we did the dodging and burning, and we did the frequency separation, and we used a mixture brush tool in Photoshop. So guys, if you learned something from this video, kindly hit a thumbs up and don't forget to hit the notification bell and drop a comment down below in the comment section. So I'm Ronix from Ronix Photography. Thank you for watching. Till next time. So this is the before, after, before, after.